Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Indy Investor Pod. I got Ronnie Reese and Elise Knaack here with me today, and I'm really excited to do this episode with them because it is time to get back in person for the Wholesaling Made Simple Meetup. We have not been able to do this for like almost over a year that we used to be in person all the time for our meetup. We started it 4 years ago. We were in person. We were getting close to like 90, 100 people there. And then COVID hit and we were not able to do it anymore. And we have been doing things virtually. We've been doing stuff like that. But we are back to being in person, and we're going to revamp it a little bit as well. You're going to get me stepping back from it a little bit, which I'm okay with. I'm all right. I'm ready to hand over my baby a little bit to these two amazing people. Like I said, Ronnie and Elise. They do an amazing job both within their companies and what they do. Ronnie, of course, is with us in the Simple team. Elise is with the Deal Machine team, which I have so much respect for, and they have an amazing product. They do amazing things. And one of the things they do very well is helping wholesalers and just real estate investors in general get started, get going. There's things for people that don't know anything about real estate. And then there's people that are very high level. Their product can kind of hit everybody across there and things like that. One of the things that we're going to do with this meetup is that we do want to focus a little bit more on, hey, the newer wholesaler, the newer investor, like how can they really kind of dig into finding properties, doing all those types of things, and be able to bring their expertise in as well. So Elise, just start off with you. Just number one, just thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate this. Appreciate you jumping on here. And I'm really excited just for you and Ronnie to get this opportunity and really dig into helping people, because I know you guys both have amazing hearts and are ready to do this. But Elise, how's everything going with you today?
It's going great. I'm with two of my favorite people, and I'm not just saying that. You guys really welcomed me into the real estate investing world, so you guys have a special place in my heart. So I am very excited and honored, honestly, to be able to help others and do this service with Ronnie, because Ronnie has a beautiful personality. If you haven't met him, you will soon. And you will become quick friends because he's just a wonderful person. So I'm really excited to be here. So thanks, guys.
Awesome. And then I'm going to throw this in as well, because this is one of the things I really appreciate about Elise as well. The level of, I guess, just the clothing line and the amount of fashion that you bring to the real estate investing world, I really appreciate. I know that's your background and stuff like that, but I always love watching your videos of like, oh, what hat is she going to be wearing today, or what's the fashion sense that Elise is going to be bringing in here. I enjoy that part of it as well.
Thank you. Plug for my school, Kent State. I'm not doing anything with my degree, but I am going to be putting some style in some places.
There we go. So. And Mr. Ronnie, how are you doing today, my man? Are you, how excited are you about bringing back the meetup, being able to kick me out a little bit and be able to take control yourself of it?
In short, I miss people. Like I miss people, and that was one of the biggest things that helped us just connect and just be in a room with folks. So I'm happy that we're kind of getting on the other side of this panorama. I'm calling it everything but a pandemic. I'm just excited to get on the other side of this protractor that's just been in the way, and just be able to just get in the room, connect with people, getting them to learn again. I just love just being in that. So I'm excited to be back.
So if you have never been to a Wholesaling Made Simple meetup or haven't heard about it or anything like that, what it was in the past is we started off doing wholesaler education, and then kind of turned into a little bit of like, oh, we need to kind of hit people on every level of wholesaling no matter what they are. Like we got into a lot of some heavy stuff, high level stuff with systems and processes and CRMs and all this stuff. And when we really looked at it, we wanted to be like, hey, we need to focus on what we love to do and what we want to kind of bring it back to the essence of how it started, is kind of the wholesaling 101 stuff, the beginner stuff, the intro stuff, helping people out get started and what they want to do. We've been more than blessed as a company with what we've been provided through wholesaling, and we want to be able to give back as well. And I know these two amazing individuals are going to jump right in there and be able to handle that. Elise, let's start with you a little bit on can you give us just a little bit of, Ronnie's been on the show before, people, our listeners hopefully know him a little bit and stuff, and hopefully have picked up some of his deals and that he's picked up for us and stuff. But Elise, I want to give you a chance to kind of share a little bit about your background, how you ended up in Indy, kind of how you ended up on the Deal Machine team and involved in real estate investing when you were a fashion student at Kent State in Ohio and stuff. So how did you get over here, and how did you become such an integral part of this just real estate investing community?
Well, let me tell you, even if you would have asked me 4 years ago, I would have never thought I'd be in real estate investing. I knew nothing. I've rented forever, but my background is I went to Kent State Fashion School, got my degree, thought, oh, I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to go to Chicago. I thought, honestly, I'd live in Chicago and I'd be a buyer for a company. And I did get a job offer, but I was like, you know what? Something's not right. And I didn't feel like that was the path God had for me. And so I said, oh, I'm going to move to Indy because I'm very close to my family. I'm from South Bend, actually Mishawaka. If you are a Hoosier, you'll know where that is. But I was like, I need to be close to my family, but I do still want to like not be in my hometown the rest of my life. So I got a job down here doing men's custom clothing. It was a full-blown sales job. They were not kidding me. I do not hold them accountable. I mean, I don't hold it against them. They did tell me it was a sales job. It wasn't fashion, but I was like, I'm going to help men dress great. It's going to be fantastic. It was 100% commission and it was 100% not for me. So I quit my job. And I don't recommend this to anyone. I didn't have anything lined up afterwards, but I just knew I wasn't happy and I needed to focus on that. So I met the great David Lecco, our CEO, through one of my clients. And he knew him and he was like, hey, what do you want to do? I said, I want to work with people and I want to help people. Yeah. I love doing that. And I love building relationships. And I think that's why Ronnie and I connected so well. Cause we're both extroverted and get really jazzed around people. So he's like, well, he needs this person to be like, it's just you two in Indy. That's it. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I get along with people. It's fine. So, but I thought, I don't have anything in real estate investing. I honestly thought this software was like for agents, which you can use it as an agent, but it's not really for agents. So David hired me and I am so thankful for that because I didn't have any experience in tech. I didn't have any experience in real estate investing. I just loved people. And I think I've been in customer service for my entire, working career, and I've built a book of business, and I didn't realize how much that would correlate with real estate investing. So as much as Tom James wasn't a fit for me for custom suits, it taught me so much and it got me out of my comfort zone. And I will say for anybody out there, it's scary, but if you're not uncomfortable, you're not pushing yourself. So made me extremely uncomfortable. So then I was the 5th hire of Deal Machine, been here for about 2.5 years now. Really surreal, feels like 5. But I've learned so much, and I've learned it all through people like Ronnie and Brian, where I actually do drive and I give Ronnie my leads because and Simple Wholesaling because, I look to them and Ronnie's taught me things and I really appreciate that. And I've just learned from all of our wonderful members. So real estate investing is just so phenomenal. I've learned a ton from members and also experience. I kind of dabbled in it a little bit, but I'm not really passionate about real estate investing. I'm very honest with that with our members. I love driving for dollars because I find it fun. But my passion is people and it's real estate investing is a passion for people for some, but it's not for me. Mine is helping people reach their goals and building that entrepreneurial kind of base. Yeah. So
no, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. You sharing your story with us and things like that. And I'm sure one of the questions that somebody might ask me, Brian, why is Elise helping out this? She doesn't even like real estate. What's going on with that? No, what it is that, and we know this because, we're involved in, different masterminds throughout the nation and things like that. And one of the expertise that I know I can always bring to a conversation is not necessarily what's going on with me or what's going on with my company. It's what I hear from other people, the other people that I'm masterminding with, the other people I'm networking with. Elise and the Deal Machine team are teamed up, and they're put in a position where they know what's going on all throughout the nation and all these different markets, what's going on with the real estate. She has a pulse on that. And that's what she can definitely provide, as well as just having an awesome product that she can kind of share and talk about on what's going on as well. So no, I'm excited for this opportunity and being able to work with you in this aspect, and you be able to kind of help out these new investors as well. So Ronnie, I want to turn it over to you for a second on like kind of, as you're working with a lot of other wholesalers, you're kind of your unofficial title with our company is the wholesaler liaison. That's what you do. You're the lead buying specialist. That's what you do. You help manage the acquisition team and things like that, but you work with other wholesalers on a day-to-day basis. What do you see is one of like kind of those big things that other wholesalers, especially newer wholesalers, are kind of struggling with right now? And one of the things that we want to really put out there and help educate other, kind of newer wholesalers on.
Yep. So this actually came up today. One of the struggles is something very, it's simple, but it's important. It's just even just the paperwork, like making sure that I have the right paperwork to even get started. And then, wait a minute, who do I ask? Is this Google form that I found, like does this work? I just Googled something. Then some guru gave me, something for $35. Is this going to work? And so just understanding the paperwork. In my state, should I have the 7-pager, or is there something more simple that I can use, in order to kind of help me still get home, and have all the nuts and bolts. So that's something that's really important. So, just making sure that you have the right paperwork, understanding this is a purchase agreement. These are the things that are important on a purchase agreement. Making sure we have the right seller or the LLC attached to that. Making sure that you're not talking to the soon-to-be ex-wife that's not on title. So just all of those different.
What you mean? If I'm a tenant, I can't sell this house? Like I can't.
Oh, you mean yeah, right? So, just seeing some of those things. So we've seen that before.
Yeah.
So
oh my gosh, that's a first one. I haven't heard that one before.
So
so that's happened.
Yeah. As I talk about that a little bit of like, I kind of just mentioned how, Elise and the Deal Machine team, they're plugged in throughout the nation with like kind of what's going on, what investors are facing, what problems they're facing, things like that. Ronnie, what he brings to this is that this is his day to day. He's heard all those sort of leases like, oh, I've never heard of that. Like Ronnie's probably dealt with that 10 times this year already. Like, so he sees kind of what happens. He kind of knows the mistakes that he sees, that wholesalers are making, the issues that they're having, the trouble that they're coming across. And hopefully we can kind of put that out there and help you guys with that. So I know what we're looking at this year is we're looking to bring this back. It's going to be the last Wednesday of every month. It's going to be at the Syria building down in the Irvington area. We're trying to make sure that that it can be broadcasted as well, to make sure we can go live or have it recorded as well. I can't be 100% on that just based off of kind of what's going on with them. But that's a possibility as well, but you can be in person for this. We're excited for this. And some of the things that we're looking to do this year, we're going to hit up being able to go over scripts and talking to motivated sellers. We're going to hit up the contracts like Ronnie just mentioned, how to build a buyer's list, what to do. Lead generation of what are all the different things you can do that. If it's low or no cost stuff, if it's something you have a little bit of money to put into, all those types of things, and just how to network, how to get started, and just what is wholesaling too, like from the beginning to the end, how to kind of do just a deal and how to operate and stuff. Elise, what's one of the things that you're excited about with this opportunity is we're looking to do like, hey, we're just going to focus on this year. We don't know what's going to happen and things. We're going to focus on the next 5 months, doing the last Wednesday of the month for the next 5 months. What's one of the things that you're excited about with this, just kind of getting into this and being able to do this?
There's a couple of things. I think I already mentioned just seeing people and making those connections, but also I think the biggest thing is being having accountability, not only for that we can give others and be that support for them, that maybe they're not. I feel like in this business, a lot of businesses that you're just starting out, you don't have a ton of support sometimes. So being that for someone, being able to hold them accountable to their goals so that they reach them and believe in them and ditto, like same here. Like I want to be able to create that community with everyone so that everyone feels like they have some place they can go to and they have people to support them.
Yeah. So awesome. I love that. Love that word, community, and being able to support each other, help each other and things. That's just great. So Ronnie, how about you? What's something that you're excited about with this, man?
I'm excited just to see the receipts of all of the work that we're going to put in and the things that we're learning. I'm already excited to see the deals that's going to happen, the lives that's going to be changed and transformed. That's what really makes me happy. Just before this recording, I was able to get a talk with the guy and work through his first deal with him, and just seeing the receipt of his appreciation and just how happy he was being able to make, man, I'm watching all this stuff on YouTube, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just stumbling around. And, you know, for you to help me walk through this, you know, was really great. And he was like, because he didn't know what the email was that comes over to the title. Comes like, what is this? So just explaining like, hey, this is what is happening. This is what this means. Just watching that receipt, seeing that excitement for other people's knowing, oh wait, this actually works. Yep. That's what I'm excited about.
So awesome. That's definitely one of the things that's just really cool too. Just all those success stories and all those things that happen out of meetings like this, and just the networking things, or even just the connections that happen as well, are always awesome and stuff. So I know before we jumped on today, I was just kind of asking you guys, kind of going through like, hey, all the things that I wanted to hit and talk about and go over and stuff like that. And I also said, just, hey, what are some things that you guys want to talk about or like kind of hit on today? I know Ronnie, talking to other wholesalers and things like that, kind of the question that people kind of keep asking you about, and especially some of the newer people that are reaching out and trying to get into this is wholesaling, can it be done in a hot market? Obviously the market is hot right now. It's crazy right now. We've never seen it like this. So can wholesaling still be done in this market, Ronnie?
Short answer, yes. And yes, it can. And yes, it can. And yes, it can. It definitely should be done. You know, Brian kind of talked about, I've talked with a couple of wholesalers. They're like, man, I've been seeing stuff on Instagram and I'm thinking about getting it in, but you know, prices are going high. Like, you know, what's happening? Should I do it? And, you know, yes, start today. Drive for dollars, use the Deal Machine app. Get out there and just start knocking on people, connecting, you know, and looking for those people that are looking and motivated to sell. But the fact of the matter is that you can find a lot of win-win situations still today in this market. And honestly, you know, we were trying to figure out like what things are going to look like even for us, you know, but deals are still there. Situation opportunities are still there to create win-wins. So yes, it's hot. But just because this might be cold for someone else doesn't mean it's going to be cold for you. It can also be hot for you. So definitely get out there and do it.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things of like, no matter, I honestly think wholesaling can be done in any type of market, whether it's a seller's market, a buyer's market. I think wholesaling can be done. It's just, what do you want to do? Now, I will say, like, wholesaling is not easy. Like it's such a transactional thing. You have to do it over and over. Can you have success kind of easy starting off? Maybe, possibly. Yeah. It's a simple process. You can get things done. That's why we're simple wholesaling. That's why we like to call it that. But it's a simple process, but it's not easy. You have to be able to put in the work. So if you're somebody like, it's kind of a hot market, I think I can get started, I'm looking to do it, you know, I see some success stories, or, you know, the person I saw on YouTube made it look really easy. Like, they can be, maybe, but it's not. If you want to do this like long-term, you want to make a business out of it, it's not an easy thing. You have to put in some work to it. You have to dig in. You have to be hungry. You have to go after it. So that's one of the things to keep in mind, but it can definitely be done in a hot market. It's a seller's market right now. People can sell their houses for a little bit higher. That doesn't mean that you can't get under contract for at a price that might be, you know, it might not be the 70% rule. It might be the 75, 80% rule, or whatever it is, but it can still be turned because people are looking for properties. People are looking for inventory. So just keep that in mind. So at least one of the questions that you were kind of talking about too is like, people during this hot market, people are wondering what they can be doing. They're wondering of like, oh, okay, can I just, you know, Indianapolis is super hot. Maybe I should go to a different market, or maybe I should try to be in like 5 different markets right now versus just the one and things. What's some advice do you have for that person that's kind of asking that question?
If you don't know the market, don't do it. I just like, and that's maybe a little bit too dramatic, but at the same time, like it is going to take you more time, and it's going to not be productive for you if you go into a market that you just think, oh, well, this is small town America. No one else is wholesaling here. I'll just do this. If you don't have a connection with the area you're in, I don't see a lot of success unless you like dive in, know the areas, know some more statistics about the area. Don't just do the hearsay thing. You have to be a little bit more analytical. And if you're just starting out with wholesaling, I just personally see and know that like it's more successful if you're in the area doing it, because you know it, you can relate more to the people who you're serving, and that builds a stronger rapport connection, leading to trust, which eventually leads to them giving them your house. It's most of the people that you're serving are very vulnerable, and especially if there's like an owner occupied or something, which you know, talk about all that, but like, it's just, you have to build that rapport. So I feel like if you don't know your market, if I go to New York right now, like I don't know what area is what, and I don't know what houses are, I have an idea of what houses are selling for, but I don't know like all the statistics, and I can't feel confident in that. And how is someone going to trust me if I don't know it?
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of, go deeper versus wider. So for example, if you're saying like, oh man, Indianapolis is kind of hard to get started right now in wholesaling, guess what? So is St. Louis, and so is Detroit, and so is Cleveland, and every other market that you may think to get into, and even some of the smaller markets and things like that. People don't buy the same way and stuff like that. I'm a big proponent of like, figure out your system and things before you start going into other markets. See if you can make something work in the market that you know. At least that's really good advice on just kind of knowing what you're doing. Is once you have those systems built and things like that, it allows you some leeway maybe to go into a market that you don't know as well, because you already have your systems and processes in place, and then you just adjust, certain, in different ways based off of what you need to do. So awesome stuff, guys. Awesome advice. Before we get out of here today, I just kind of want to turn it over to you, each of you, just, as if I'm a newer wholesaler and I'm thinking about like, man, I want to get started, or hey, I've done a couple deals here and there, and I really would like to do a few more, and maybe I can get to the point where I can grow it to quit my job. And if you're thinking along those lines of getting started or kind of growing into a business and doing this as a thing, and you're thinking about like, man, how do I get connected? What do I do? You're thinking about going to the Wholesaling Made Simple Meetup led by Ronnie and Elise. What's some advice you have for that person that's kind of going through that process of like, hey, what do I do? What are the next steps? That kind of thing, Elise.
I would say if you're just do it, just come and take action. I feel like that's the biggest thing that a lot of people get stuck on and they get intimidated by. And even if you've done a couple of deals, take action of educating yourself on how you can make this scalable. Because if you can't make it scalable and you don't put those processes in place, you're not going to grow to where you want, where you can quit your job. And on the opposite side of that, don't get stuck in straight processes if you're just starting out. That'll also keep you still. Take action, take massive action.
Yeah. Love it. So everything's a possibility too. Everything you think outside the box, think about everything like that. So Ronnie, I know Elise mentioned it before with her journey, like she had never known anything about real estate 4 years ago, never thought anything about that. You know what? That's the same thing with me. That was the same thing with you as well. So if you're that person that's sitting at home being like, well, I don't know if I can wholesale because I don't know anything about real estate. I've never been in real estate before either. Of like, we're three people right here that are like, exactly like all of our timelines are actually the same as 4 years ago for like all of us. But like, what do you say to that person that's kind of in that boat of like, I don't know anything about real estate. I've never been in it before. Can I do it? Can I get into wholesaling?
The fact of the matter is yes, you can. I would tell you to get in the room with other people that are doing what you want to do. That's what is the decision that changed my life. It's a conversation that changed my life. I got in a room with other people that were doing it, and I saw what the possibilities were. And then even being where I am now, almost 4 years later, I still am challenging myself to get in the room to other people that's doing more. The saying goes, if you can't get a seat at the table, be a waiter so you can serve other people at the table. So that's one of the things that I will always do. So maybe you don't know what you do. So maybe you can connect with someone that you can make some phone calls for. You can find yourself to be a waiter to get in. That's exactly what I did. I got in a room, became a server, helping other people. And now 4 years later, things are different. My options are different because of wholesaling, the vehicle of wholesaling.
That's a true story. That's a guy. Ronnie, what meetup did you go to help you?
I was just about to say, I want to hear this story is my favorite. So please just tell them the whole thing.
I believe is this June? Oh my God. I think it will be literally 4 years. I think I went to the July meetup 4 years ago. When there was a mentor in Charlotte, North Carolina. He said, hey, Ronnie, I said, man, what do you do? I said, you got as many kids as I do. You don't seem to be stressed. You always got a nice suit. What do you do? He said, wholesaling. He said, download the Meetup app, get in the room with other people that are doing it and figure it out. That was his only advice. But I knew the receipt of his life and the options that he had. I was like, something's different there. So I went in the room and I was like, man, this can't be real. These are these Christian guys up here talking about wholesaling houses. Everyone seems happy. No, this can't be real. But I did what you're not supposed to do. I went to the front of the room, teary-eyed, looking at Brett saying, man, teach me everything, you know. He looked at me kind of weird, like, oh my God. But, you know, but the opportunity came open where I got on the email list. They sent out an email saying, hey, we just need somebody to make some phone calls for us. Are you available? And so that's what I was able to do. Made some phone calls. 2 weeks later, it was like, hey, what do you think? And I talked with my wife, and she's like, you know what? We already know what this is. Let's just jump. Let's just try it. Just see what happens. And because of that, God is blessed. I've been faithful, and I have a great community around me. I'm thankful for that.
So love it, man. I'm pretty sure on that first meeting too, you came in with your bow tie and suspenders and stuff on, right? I remember it. So.
Interview ready. I was interview ready.
So awesome stuff. And now 4 years later, he's been a part of, you know, he's basically brought in over 600 properties now just for our company and what Ronnie's been able to do. So that's pretty awesome of being a part of that many deals. Fantastic stuff. And it all got started with this Wholesaling Made Simple Meetup. You know, and on this podcast, the Indy Investor Pod, it's not something we really do is like, you know, this is a promotion for us or what's going on. Really what it is if you are somebody that's thinking about wholesaling here in Indianapolis or even just kind of whatever market you're in, you know, we're going to speak to Indianapolis specific. That's where we are. That's where we're going to be doing the meetup and things, but it can be done on a different scale and different levels. You're somebody that's in that boat. This is something you should consider. This is something you should get into. And then also, if you are somebody that is working with a deal provider, like, and maybe they're new or they're sending you some deals and stuff like that, encourage them to be like, hey, maybe you should go to this meetup and make some connections and help out as well. That might be a good thing. So, Ronnie, if somebody wants to reach out to you, wants any more information about the meetup or about you or about your journey or anything like that, where can they go?
You can email me, Ronnie at simplewholesaling.com, RONNIE at simplewholesaling.com. You can always slide in my DMs. I'm always available there. You know, Ronnie J. Reese on Instagram. You can text me, 317-572-7540. That's my direct cell phone number. I just gave it out. So text me and call me. I mean that. Okay. So that's how you get in contact with me.
Awesome. Elise, how about you? How people get connected with you or even then get connected with Deal Machine as well?
Yeah, so probably the best way for me is if you go to my Instagram and it's happy_wholesaler. And if you just, like Ronnie said, slide in my DMs and hit me up there. I just got a new phone, so I honestly don't remember my phone number. So maybe I'll just give that to Brian so that he can put it in there. Yeah, so just reach out. Happy to help. Happy wholesalers, happy to help.
There you go. So love it. We got the simple wholesaler and the happy wholesaler. It's going to make a great team. I'm excited for what you guys are going to do within this space and be able to help out wholesalers and things here in Indianapolis and just in other markets as well. So awesome stuff, guys. Really appreciate it. If you need anything from me or have any questions for me or about Indianapolis investing or anything that's going on, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at brian@simplewholesaling.com. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you with whatever you need when it comes to Indianapolis investing. We're Indy investors. That's what we do. That's what we talk about. That's what this podcast is all about. And with that, it's a wrap for this episode, and we will see you guys next time on the Indy Investor Pod. Take care.